need to understand about traceability metrics. Okay, for agile project, is it same like a waterfall or a different way to follow? So we need to focus on what is the goal, why you want to have a traceability metrics. Yeah, why we had it in a waterfall and why do we need in agile as well if in case needed. So let's go back. In case of predictive life cycle, we collect the requirement in advance, and then we work on a detailed scope, and then in a phased manner, we start working on execution and making those requirement reality. Now, there is a possibility that since the gap is huge, the collection of requirement and the delivery of deliverable might be delayed by 6 months, there is a possibility that things may get slipped here and there. So the predictive life cycle should ensure at each step we have a checkpoint which is ensuring, are we doing the enough design, enough test, enough exploration for a given requirement, and if yes, let's me check it out against each requirement. Yeah, so that is the whole idea of having those traceability matrices. Now, in the agile way of working, since we are picking up a small requirement, only discussing that part of requirement, we are not discussing the remaining requirement, and we are demonstrating that part of requirement at the end of an iteration and taking the validation. I'm using the word validation, not verification, taking the validation from the stakeholder. So we are delivering things very, very incrementally. So things are becoming all the time visible, and if something is not done, then that can be visualized then and there. Because of that, there is a high probability that you don't need a traceability matrix because you don't have a list of requirement to begin with first, and then you don't have a big cycle before you release the thing. So that's why you probably don't need it, and you have a different way of working. Now, having said that, there is a possibility you might be having some compliance requirement. Yeah, you might be having some regulatory requirement along with some emerging requirement, and for those compliance requirement and for those emerging requirement, you might need to submit this traceability matrix to some regulatory body or some compliance body. In that case, you maintain in the similar way. So you show how a possible requirement is getting coded, getting tested, got tested, and how it got finally accepted, so that your compliance people can see those traceability. Because even if you are working in the agile way, those guys might not be coming very frequently to test that. They are again coming at an infrequent space, and in those environment, you might need the traceability matrix in the case of agile as well. Yeah. So if you are taking PMP exam, because we believe in hybrid way of working, consider that there is a possibility of having that particular document, that particular matrix in the agile way of working as well. So you do consider that. If you are generically asking, working in the agile world, then don't worry about traceability matrix. It might not be needed in the agile world.